Hello, everyone. Greetings from Ashland, Oregon, here in the Pacific Northwest in the United States, where the wheel of the year has definitely turned. Autumn is in full swing, and we're just starting to get the first frosts, so winter is definitely in the air as well. Today I'm tuning in because I was inspired by a video series that I've been watching by Marian Brigantia of Glastonbury, in which she talks about what it means to be a priestess. And so as I listened to her share about her own path and work as a priestess, not only in the Holy Isle of Avalon, but all around the world, I was inspired to reflect upon my own priestess path and how that has manifested throughout my life. So about 20 years ago, the world began to call me priestess, even though it was never my intention to identify as one per se. I was just following the path that inspired me and weaving in what I'm good at. So one thing that has always inspired me is ceremony. I have always loved ceremony and all of its elements. The activation of the senses, the creating of sacred space, the focusing of intention, the invocation of higher forces, and moving energy around. That's probably one of my favorite things about ceremony. Creating ceremonies for my community, i.e. being a priestess, is one of my life passions because it's an art form and a craft that calls together my three main aspects of teacher, performer, and mystic. So ceremony and ritual are really part and parcel of everything I do because they give structure and meaning to my life and to the arts of teaching, dancing, and priestessing. I have always loved being a teacher, whether in the classroom, the stage, or the studio. And no matter what I'm teaching, I've always employed ritualistic practices to ignite the force of inspiration or creativity in my students. So, for example, a breathing sequence can relax the mind or release the body. An image can focus the mind. When I put breathing and imagery together with music, we can go on a journey in the here and now. And so journeys of guided imagery are something that I have used for all kinds of teaching and learning. I've used it with students of all ages to ignite curiosity and inspiration about anything from a book, a poem, a play, a piece of music, or a dance. Because in my academic teaching life, I teach English, drama, and epistemology, which is kind of like philosophy for beginners. So I have to get young people to think, and I have to get them excited about ideas. Then, when I'm working with dance, that dance or that piece of music, to me, it can just be a first step towards experiencing a higher form of knowledge, which in turn is a gateway to a higher state of being. So no matter what we're studying, I take a ritualistic approach to it that helps us plug into the real source of inspiration behind the story, the play, the book, the poem, the dance, so on and so on. And so when I'm teaching, I've always felt that the force of inspiration is like a current that I plug into and that I can then help others plug into. And that current puts us into contact and communication and transmission with something transpersonal, something higher, something that is of us and we're part of it, but it's also much larger than us. Kind of like a higher, nobler, more evolved form of our everyday consciousness that flows from a realm of archetypes, legends, heroes, and stories that approximate and try to express the inexpressible grandeur of the all and how it manifests through us. That is truly how I view teaching and learning. When I'm teaching, I feel that I'm not alone. I feel the presence of a muse or an archetype of higher guidance. Sometimes I feel the presence of beings that, I can only identify them as angel guide teachers. And their words and their movements sometimes begin to flow through me. And I know that what is being taught is not originating with me, that I'm acting as a channel for it. I also feel that whatever it is we're studying, the story or the piece of music or the dance, that it has its own life force. And that those works kind of call me to themselves, to inspire myself by it, and then to inspire others. So sometimes, classroom, studio, wherever we are, there's those moments of magical flow in teaching where we go beyond the learning, that there's spontaneous creativity taking place, and people are getting inspired. And so for me, those are the moments where teaching meets priestessing, because it's like greater portals are opened and some kind of higher creativity manifests in the class. Many of you know that Isadora Duncan is someone who I count as one of my great masters, my great teachers. And she was someone who was also a dancer, teacher, mystic. And she believed that the dancing, the moving body becomes an instrument for the message of the soul. She said many, many clever things and really insightful things. And one thing that I love that she said is, I have never danced a solo. So to me, that means that she is so plugged into her source of inspiration that it is there on stage with her. And I've also felt that when I'm performing in the fullness of the body, heart, mind, spirit alignment, I feel like I'm being danced, like there's a higher force that's coming through me, and that I can inspire my audience by connecting them with the energy of that archetype or the story that inspired the dance. I know that a performance can be a prayer-formance, something that can teach, bless, heal, inspire, bring about catharsis for an entire audience. And I've been told over the years that my solo and group performances bring catharsis to the audience, and that the audience leaves inspired and spiritually renewed. And to be honest with you, I couldn't ask for more. These are the times when I give profound thanks for the path of a dancing priestess. Those cathartic moments when the teacher, the dancer, and the priestess in me are all one. It's a divine fusion, and it echoes through people's bodies, their hearts, their minds, and their souls. And these are the moments that I live for. And those are the moments that I strive to create. I strive to engineer that. Ceremonies where learning and bliss and fun can happen all in the same time-space container. And that's the nature of my priestess path. It's the strands of teaching, dancing, and ceremonial arts. I weave those in order to bring myself and my community to higher states of being and knowing. I am driven by the profound belief that the best and deepest learning happens when all levels of the self are involved: the body, the heart, the mind, and the soul. And I also believe that the best learning takes place when it is beyond fun. Fun to me, enjoyment, joy, bliss, that is also a portal into deeper learning. Transformative, deeply felt, cathartic, and most of all, inspiring. Inspiring all of us to journey ever deeper into the splendor and grace of being human beings on this beautiful, blessed, and abundant Gaia. That's what being a priestess is all about to me. I want to inspire people to transformative, deeply felt, cathartic experiences that put us into alignment with Gaia and the universe, united with each other, united within ourselves, integrated within, without, above, and below. So thank you, and it was a pleasure to share this with you. Blessed be.